And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Off to the races we go. It's January the 3rd, and, well, for a little while, we've had a little wintry mix over Clark, portions of Lauderdale County. Now, this has moved northward into Kemper and also into Winston County at this point. Let's take a look at this so you'll know what's going on. There's light rain scattered across Lauderdale, Kemper, and Neshoba in these areas, but the wintry mix is just confined now as we go here to radar. Let's pull this up so everybody can see what is going on. Turn that down. As we pull this up, we'll show right here light showers across Lauderdale into Jasper and into Clark counties and Lauderdale. As we zoom in here into Kemper County, we're going to show where this wintry mix is and across Winston County. Let's put on some locations where you'll see a little bit more. Starting here, Highway 16 West, at the intersections of 493, 495, that northern portion just past Damascus Volunteer Fire Department, north of the coal plant, right there in the Cleveland area where the swimming pool is. That's where we've got this. All the way up to Preston, all around the Linville area. That area there, so a little wintry mix there. Now, as we go into Noxubee County, you'll see that just to the northwest of the Indian Mounds up in this area here, right there, we've got some more here popping up there. Highway 393 and just east of 490, and this kind of just to the east of Noxapater. We've got some just on the outskirts of Louisville. That would be kind of north of J&S Food. That's what we've got there popping up. To our southwest from here, let's turn this off. We've got heavier rain here, the Brookhaven, Macomb area, in that southwest corner of Mississippi. So that's what's happening this morning as you're waking up. Maybe you saw a little bit earlier. Around 4 a.m., we started getting that stuff. Getting a little bit better. We were at freezing when I got here about 3:30 this morning. Since then, it's warmed up to 34. So the road conditions are going to be fine. Nothing to worry about in that way. So that part's good there. Good morning. Terry Ray says 34 there in Philadelphia. Hey, nippy, isn't it? Now, a concern that we have that we'll go over in just a little bit, we will most likely be together on Monday evening, Monday night, as severe weather has been forecast for the area, especially south of here to the coast. We're at a level 1 in East Mississippi. The further south you get to the Hattiesburg area, this will pick up and become worse. We're days away from this. It always means that this can drift more northward and get worse here. But right now we're under a level 1 for Monday evening, Monday night. We'll check all of that before long to make sure you know what it is. But we'll be together most likely Monday night covering weather. So make sure you make an appointment to be here with the Scotty Ray Report. All right, let's get into some good words. Let's go out to Collinsville now.
The heart of every Christian should be to live a life worthy of the calling you've received in Jesus Christ. Now, that doesn't mean that you and I are to earn our salvation. It means that our life should honor the sacrifice Jesus made for our salvation. I mean, He gave up everything in order to save us from our sins. Now, in Ephesians 4, Apostle Paul calls us to this type of Christ-worthy life and then helps us to understand what that kind of life looks like. He points us actually to 5 things. First, a life worthy of Christ is marked by humility. It's a life that boasts not in ourselves, but entirely in Christ. A life worthy of Christ is also characterized by gentleness. Jesus encouraged us to take His yoke upon ourselves and to learn from Him, for He is gentle and lowly in heart. His gentleness then begets our gentleness. Third, a life worthy of Christ is marked by patience. As God's been patient with us, so patient, we're to extend that patience to those around us. A life worthy of Christ is also characterized by bearing with one another in love. Because of love, God long suffers with us, and we in turn long suffer with others. And finally, is an eagerness for unity through peace. Christ's aim is to bring people together, to tear down walls of enmity, and that should be our aim as well. So, beloved, these are some of the marks of a life worthy of Christ. May our lives be characterized by them. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mowdy Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy that as I do each morning. Don't forget, they'll be wide open for business. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? It is. They'll have church services tonight. If you need a place to go, hear a good word, they'd love to have you as a guest. As always, I tell you, there's probably a church not more than 15 minutes from where you live. Find one. You ever see the stories that make you scratch your head and go, I think you're saying something, but you're not telling me the truth. You're twisting the truth. As we go, Texas. The federal government seems to think they know how to run Texas better than Texas does. As the Biden administration again asks the Supreme Court to allow the Border Patrol to remove the razor wire at the Texas border. Now, their reasoning for that to say that they could help those in danger better. Let's be honest about this. Good fences make good neighbors. If you have a fence, your neighbor can't cross it. They want the fence down. Which leads to our next story. They're going to reopen 4 other locations that had been shut down because we had so many people crossing the border illegally. But they're going to open them. We've got a mess on our hands. But they tell us they're doing the right thing. We also see that Chicago, as we've seen this to where the buses were going into these larger cities, with these folks that were crossing the border illegally, all these towns that said, we want you. We're a safe place. Come on and join us. They don't like it now. And then after New York and other areas made it to where they they would fine the bus companies $1,000 per person if they dropped them off. They've been dropping them off in the outskirts of town. Now they want to pass restrictions. They don't want these people in their neighborhoods. I wonder why.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
I mean, if it's okay to cut the fence and say, come on across, why don't you want them in your city? Mm-hmm. Be careful of what is said to you. And we wonder why so many Americans don't trust the federal government anymore. Oh, here's another one for you. Y'all be ready for a speech that's coming January the 6th. It will be from a little guy that's visiting or staying at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and he's going to tell you how awful January the 6th was a few years ago. I almost compare what's going on at the border to being worse than January the 6th. That's my thoughts. You may agree, you may not agree. It's America. We can agree to disagree, but that's my thoughts on that matter. Be looking for that. As we see, and I think a lot of America's problems go back to the home, to where if you're taught right from wrong with your mother, your father, whether you live with your whoever it is, that is the role model in your life, and every child needs one. Someone to take them to church, someone to be someone to look up for. Do you remember me telling you about the little boy that was 10 years old that shot and killed another 10-year-old boy? Well, we now find out why he shot and killed him. He lost a bike race to him. So he thought it necessary to take the other little boy's life. We definitely need role models. Saddens my heart to even have to tell stories of that. We go to Salt Lake City next. This is one of those horror things. You're getting on the plane, you're getting ready to take off, and they go, whoop, everybody's got to get off. And you don't know what's going on for a little while. It was due to a problem. They found someone hidden in the engine compartment. He would be pronounced deceased. Got through the barbed wire, went in, and I guess he thought he was going for a free ride. Didn't realize what happens when they fire up things. Awful, awful. Some closure to a family in the United States since 2012. Boy, that's been a long time. Mother was heading home. She never reached there. Her and her minivan disappeared. There's a lot of groups that do this search now. They have found her. Her minivan was in a pond in a lake. The mystery of where she is has been solved. Now the investigation as to what happened will continue. That was in Orlando, near Disneyland. Now, I don't quite understand this. If you invent something, I almost think it's yours. If Odie over here invents a safety pin, or he invents the ink pen, or he does a famous SpongeBob SquarePants designs him, let's say it that way, that should be his. He made it. I don't understand this, and maybe there's laws and things, but Disney created Mickey Mouse 1928. It has ran out on January the 1st, which means other people can use Mickey's likeness now. Oh, they're already at it. Horror films are being made with Mickey Mouse in it, and you know what else will happen with the sick-minded people that we have. I don't understand, though. They designed it. They made it. Why can't it be theirs? How do you?
Yeah.
Somebody have to explain that to me. How others can use your work later on. It's just my thoughts. This happened in Mississippi not long ago, and I'm not sure how it's turned out. We have marijuana growers, which they do this for the good cause of under guidelines to grow it for medical marijuana. We had it in Mississippi where one was put on pause. They were turned in by an anonymous letter. They went to go, wait a minute, something's wrong. We got to do an investigation. I'm not sure where that investigation is at this point, but we see now that we go to New Mexico, the same thing has happened there. They've shut down 2 other growers as they investigate them also. Safety concerns, making sure that everything is done right. That could take you out of business pretty doggone quick. That stuff's expensive, what they're doing. I've heard the name. I don't know a lot about this guy, but he is a big time, or was, celebrity attorney. His name was Tom Gerard. Sounded good. He won a bunch of money. The only problem was he was taking portions of it for himself without the clients knowing it. Or it added up to at least $15 million. His wife was on one of those housewife shows. I think she had expensive taste, and he had to do anything he could to keep her.
Yeah, man.
Would I go out on a limb? Would I be too far, Odie, to say that maybe it was a trophy wife?
Exactly.
Boys, those are hard to run with. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Let's see here. One for the Gipper here. As Trump has part of a lawsuit dismissed, a judge has dismissed 3 civil counts against Trump involving the death of someone that happened January the 6th. January the 6th. I didn't say that right, did I? That's some of the news happening with that. Let me back up here. I got a few more stories here. I jumped ahead of what I was doing. Let's see here. Sean Hannity has made a big announcement. So long, I'll see you later, I think is his statement as he packs his bag as he's headed to Florida. He's moving from New York to Florida. So the crime and all that stuff has just gotten a little bit too much. Off to Florida he will go. Good luck, Sean. We hope that's good for you there. Now, what is said and what is done, I really thought Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, since he had that background of being a policeman, would be different when he took office. Could we be seeing something different in Philadelphia? The mayor was sworn in. She's a Democrat, and she goes, wait a minute, crime's got to stop. She's hiring more police officers. Will she stay true to this? Let's hope so. It has truly gotten, and we all know that, living from the small side, it's a big deal to go on vacation, to fly to New York, Orlando, some San Francisco, a place that you've never been, to go see the sights, other parts of America. It's gotten to where you can't do that because you fear for your life. Crime is so bad. Do y'all remember back in the 80s to where, well, Bronson really brought it to light when he had the Death Wish shows. If you got on a subway, the odds of you getting off were slim. There were bad times. Rudy Giuliani came along and cleaned up the town. Since then, they've made him an outlaw for his tactics of, well, stopping people that were bad. But you could walk around and not get mugged. So who was bad? My 2 cents, you may disagree with it, and you're entitled to that. But things have changed in cities all across America. What else has happened here? If you think you're having a bad day, truly on this, we had a lady that went into the hospital. It's going to be a simple surgery. She was diagnosed as septic. Now, again, this is just a mom. She goes into a simple routine for a kidney stone surgery. As you know, we had Clayton here go in, and he had a heart attack. She gets septic. She wakes up to not one single hand or legs left. They had to amputate arms and legs. Y'all think about that. That has to be one of the most horrifying experiences that rocks my world. We pray for her. Now, everything that I've seen, she's been positive. They've had her kids in the room with her, feeding her. I'm sure that she will get prosthetics, but folks, we had someone that was a fraudster, a local politician as we go to Arizona there, election, proven that they done some bad things in an election. They made some fraud things. And, well, they've been appointed as vice mayor of an Arizona city. And, again, we wonder why America has issues. I do pray that maybe one day somebody will wake up and straighten all this stuff up. That's what we hope. Boy, that's too rough to even talk about there. Be careful of how you do this. I know that it's a talk because Angie got into this. So you cutting the cable cord. Well, cable has gotten expensive as people go to streaming. But be careful of what you choose, because when you go to streaming, you now have to pay your internet bill, which is, if you've got the fast ones, going to be anywhere from $99 to $150. Then you have to buy your Netflix and all that. Before long, you're right back where you started with the cable. Be cautious of what you buy and how you do it. A lot of people are going, whoa, I didn't realize that. We have to have the absolute fastest that is made. So we've got the high-end package here, what you can get on that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not real sure anymore what my wife does get, because I don't have time to watch it. All I know is it picks up that awful Below Deck show.
Yours too, huh?
You got that on your TV too, Below Deck and Vanderpump. I've seen that on, and then that housewife shows. All three shows that I just find disgusting. I cannot stand them, and she wants to watch them. I just don't understand it. I really don't. We'll be right back as we get this day underway. Again, cold 34 this morning. We're above freezing, a wintry mix to our north in Kemper County and also to our northwest there in Winston County. Y'all be careful. Light rain on the streets. What happens? Accidents. We don't want you to be in one. We'll be right back to start this day together.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Let's go back to Meridian Honda radar as we take a look at this very teeny bitty mix of wintry mix left out there as we go to the Noxubee, Kemper, and Winston County line. Right there, those four corners, we have a little bit of wintry mix still coming down this morning. As we go here and we follow up, we're going to go right toward 397 into Louisville. There's a little bit there. And then also Highway 25 coming out of Louisville as you're headed toward Carthage, Jackson, those areas there in the Jackson, Mississippi area. Not too far from right here at Shiloh Baptist Church. A little bit of that wintry mix there. Outside of that, we've got light showers throughout the area this morning. Heavier stuff down in Brookhaven starting to enter the state of Mississippi. What does it mean? More rain today. We have an 80% chance of showers. Let's get into your forecast now to see, well, what it brings.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go here we go. As we go back for record highs and record lows, it was 1982. We had a warm day. 78 is what we had. Back in 79, 1 year later, no, a few years before that, it was 11 degrees. I got all mixed up, didn't I? 1979, a cold day, 11. Woof. As we look ahead, what's coming up today, 55, as we see here. That word is wrong, sunny. That's going to be wrong. Tuscaloosa, 52. Should get around 52 in Clanton as well, and Auburn. We should have around 53 today. But we're not going to get above today, 43. Let me back up on that. That, for some reason, is the wrong screen, so I apologize on that. Our high today is only going to be 43. We'll jump to your forecast here in just a second. Look at all this. Now, this is where we have to talk about what's happening on Monday night. We have severe weather moving in. Right here. This is a level 1 for the Meridian area. When you get into Natchez, Brookhaven, that's a level 2. This is likely to change in between now and then. We're going to watch all of this very closely. And again, this is Monday night. This is days away, which means it's going to change a lot. So be prepared for that. Now, as we look at this colder weather out to our west coming out of California, making its way toward Texas. Hadn't quite got here yet. We're kind of normal here with this 30-something degree weather. Now, as I mentioned, the temperatures changed today. That was wrong what I had. They updated that, and I didn't change it. 42 is the high today. Tonight, we're going to get down to 27. And the rain will quit somewhere around 2 o'clock this afternoon. The 70% chance of rain will go away. It'll dry out, so we won't have to be concerned about anything. But look at that low, 27. It will be beyond cold. So make sure that you warm up your pets, take care of them, whether it's hay or you let them inside your house. If they're outside animals, let them hang out in the laundry room. 54 for the high on Thursday. We're still cold at 28 on Thursday night. As we head toward the weekend, we'll start to see some warming up there because rain moves in again on Friday with a 90% chance of rain, that low at 44. By Saturday, not really any rain going to happen. 56 for a high down to 38. Here's what we need to watch as we get into this Monday night. As we got that storm system moving across, we'll watch all of this very carefully. Monday night into Tuesday will be the concern for our area. Again, it could be bad. What does that mean? It's a possibility that it could be some tornadic activity, something to that effect. Heavy winds. We'll wait and see how this shapes up over the next couple of days before it gets here. Again, today's high, let me warn you on that. Make sure you dress warm. We're looking at 43 for a high today. Through January the 17th, let's go another few days and take a look at that forecast as we pull this up for you to see here. Cloudy on the 10th. As we get on past this, we're going to get showers on the 12th and on the 13th. As we keep going down, about the 16th, a few more showers there. Not too bad, but averaging in the 50s. Nothing that just says, oh my gosh, nothing cold, cold, cold. Looks like February may be the month we have to watch. We'll stay on top of this. Not even really, as you look at this, below freezing barely here on the 10th and getting close to it down here around mid-month. So nothing horrifying just yet. As we look to the fishing forecast today, what's happening with that? As we pull this up, here you go. Chet's Paint Body tells us it's going to be a calm wind, somewhere around 5 miles an hour today. Now, your best times to fish kicked off this morning and it ended just a minute ago. Your next major time is going to be right at dark 30. If you like fishing in the dark and cold weather, it's perfect for you. I don't think I'll be joining you. As we go to the hunting forecast, what's happening there over Collinsville Meats today, looks like we're going to have pretty close to the same thing, one of the few times that it's lining up. Somewhere right around 4:45, it should be great hunting this afternoon, so make it an afternoon hunt. Get there at 3, give it plenty of time. They're about dark 30, they'll start moving in. That's usually how it works anyway, isn't it? Good luck to all of you. Sportsman that really pays off. Take a kid hunting. You'll enjoy that. That's kind of where we are on watching everything this morning from the bird's eye view. We've had rain, which means you got to drive slower going in this morning. It always happens with wrecks. You go to hit those brakes. That curve coming into Meridian on I-59, if you've got to travel it. Also, Enterprise area. We always have wrecks there. Mile marker 138, 134, and those stretches. Be careful. Watch what you're doing. Drive a little slower. Not going to hurt to be 3 minutes later than you normally do. Or leave 10 minutes early. Whatever you want to think of there. The great blizzard of 24. 8 snowflakes fell in 0. Pretty good there. And someone did ask, has the murder suspect been caught out of Scott County? No, he has not. Not unless it's happened in the last 10 minutes since we went live. He has not been caught. The last area that we can say that we knew of, and it's been days now, was he was headed toward Natchez on 61. As I spoke to the police chief there, he has not been caught. A lot of times Louisiana is looking for him as well because it's so close. If you get to Louisiana, you could blend in very easily in New Orleans. There's a lot of criminals there. You blend in on Bourbon Street, and you just don't stick out as much as you do in small rural Mississippi areas. But I want y'all to keep this in mind. Usually when it comes to criminals who do this, they look for people that they know that they can get help from. He's made zigzags all over the state, and a lot of times they will circle back to where they know, where they have friends that they can call and ask for help. Do not feel a security that this man is out of the area. he could very well slip back in. He's stolen cars in Brandon. He's stolen cars in Meehan. He's stolen them in the Newton area, Conahatta, those areas. He's been all over that prior to this murder. He could very easily slip back in. We don't want anybody to be caught off guard when going outside alone, especially our ladies. Pay close attention. Have an equalizer with you as you go about your life and your daily duties. There's a reason it's called that. People that are bigger than you. Kind of equalizes the situation there. Just make sure you're prepared. Talk to someone. Let someone know where you are. If you live alone, call somebody that you work with. Say, I'm going out to my car. I should be at work in 15 minutes, whatever your timeline is. And if you don't show up, they know something's not right. Just as we get this situation handled here in the great state of Mississippi, and they will. We've got law enforcement searching. He's just been rather slick, hasn't he? No other way to put it. All right, we're going to fire up a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back here in just a moment. Boy, howdy, I'm almost late. We'll be right back here in just a moment here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.